What is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video here on the channel. Well, Bitcoin's price is hitting all-time highs after some fantastic news this morning, and I want to go over exactly what's going on and what we can be expecting next. And so with that said, let's not waste any more time at all, and let's get straight into the video. And don't forget, my friends, if you do want to trade a little Bitcoin, Solana, Sui, Pepe, and many more on all the way up to 500x leverage, you can check out that BTCC link down below. Guys, if you do sign up specifically with my link down there and start trading today, you're going to get a 10% bonus on all first-time deposits between $500 and $100,000. This means if you deposit, say, $3,000, they're going to give you $300 back on the spot to start trading with. And whatever profit you make from that $300 is all yours to keep, no strings attached. You can withdraw it, reinvest it, do whatever you want with it. It's literally an opportunity to make free gains during the bull market. So make sure you go check that out down below, guys. I mean, that's a crazy good deal. One of the best that I've ever had here on the channel, and it's a very good platform. So do go check that out because I really do think you'll enjoy that. Now, before we talk about what is going on with Bitcoin's price, let's actually jump into the news a little bit and see what all this news was that has been contributing to all of this excitement we're seeing today. Now, starting from bottom to top, what you can see first and foremost, we have been seeing some publicly traded companies really picking up a good bit of Bitcoin. For example, we saw Samir Scientific buy $21 million worth, now putting their total position at $168 million. We, of course, did also see that Riot Platforms bought another $69 million worth, putting their, of course, total purchases just in the last week at over $600 million. And stepping up the game even more, we saw Michael Saylor come out with a $1.5 billion purchase of Bitcoin for 15,000 Bitcoin at the $100,300 mark. Now, this is just absolutely absurd, and there is a major lesson in this, honestly, from Michael Saylor. It's something that I have to remind myself oftentimes as well, is that if you truly believe in the value of something, right, what happens in the short term doesn't matter, because you have to think, Michael Saylor is probably if not the most successful crypto investor that there's ever been, and he doesn't care what Bitcoin's price is doing, whether it's going up, whether it's going down, whether it's at all-time highs or all-time lows, he's willing to purchase. And where that has gotten him is from being, someone relatively known to probably one of the most famous investors of all time now because of what has happened over the last year or so. And that is a lesson that, when I see things like this, again, it reminds me, and it just reminds me to remind you that even though it is important to look at the charts and the technicals, in the grand scheme of things, what happens on the daily or the 4-hour or the 12-hour is very unimportant, because in the grand scheme of things, if the asset that you're investing in is moving in the same general direction that you thought it would when you first invested, what happens in the short term shouldn't be enough to change your value and your value thesis of how valuable you think that investment is. And I really do like news like this today. Now, clearly, so does the market. We saw, of course, Bitcoin's price really start to catch a good bit of momentum today, really outperforming the rest of the market. We're seeing Bitcoin currently at the time of recording around $100,000 or $107,000. We're seeing Bitcoin dominance pushing up towards 57 and seemingly breaking out of this little micro cup and handle pattern structure here, meaning that we could really start getting some outperformance from Bitcoin, and it seems like things are definitely going well. Now, as all of this is happening, we are actually seeing a very, very bullish signal flashing right now, which doesn't confirm that Bitcoin is about to just take off, right? But it is a very good signal that I want to share with you today. And so now that you have a good kind of understanding of what has been going on and what we are keeping an eye on today and all the news, let's kind of shift a little bit more forward into what is happening from a technical perspective, what these signals are, and well, of course, what they could mean. Now, I will warn you, some of the things that we're about to go over in the video might get a little bit confusing, especially for those of you who are maybe beginners and you're trying to figure this whole crypto thing out, or if you're advanced and you're just trying to add more tools to your toolbox. And so if you do get confused, or just quite simply, if you're someone who wants to just get better at this whole crypto thing, all that I ask specifically from you is to just stick around at the end of the video. At the end of the video, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the Discord server. We had some huge news recently, but we're doing live streams, workshops, classes, and more, and it's generating our community hundreds of percentages and gains every single day. So if you want to be somebody, again, who just kind of takes their game to the next level and starts using these lessons to turn them into strategies, turn those strategies into profit, all that I ask from you, again, is just to stick around at the very end of the video. So as I mentioned before, now that we know what the news is, what is happening? I mean, what is happening as we're getting towards the top side of this channel? What's this major bullish signal? Well, what we can see is that we are now getting the golden cross, and it's still a little bit early. We still do need to see the rest of the day play out, and there's a chance that this doesn't cross, but obviously I'll update you if that is the case. But as of now, we are seeing this bullish cross forming on the daily MACD for Bitcoin. Now, this isn't a very common thing, and it's especially not common whenever you are going from a period of bearishness, extreme bearishness, into a period of bullishness. Now, what I mean for that is that there are these little moments where this little bullish cross will happen, whether it be right here, here or whether it be right here. But quite frankly, when those bullish crosses happened, we were in these little tiny periods of bearish momentum. One right here, one right here. I mean, even realistically, one right here, one right here. There's not been many a time in which we've seen a big bearish momentum move like this, or, you know, more like this and things like that, in which we actually end up going into this bullish period following thereafter, after that bullish cross. And what we can see is that in the last few times that we actually have seen a move like this, in which we saw the blue line of the MACD go straight up through the orange line of the MACD, creating this bullish cross, or this golden cross, whichever one you want to call it, it's actually ended up being pretty dang on good. So for example, if we do look at just the last times we've gotten a bullish cross, let's see what's happened. So let's go there. Let's go, we saw one right there. We saw one prior to that right here. And then we saw one prior to that right here as well. Now, what you can see is that every single time that we have seen this bullish MACD cross or this bullish golden cross, it's actually ended up resulting in some sort of pump. We got a pump right here, a pump right there, a smaller pump right there, and a pretty nice sizable pump right there. So overall, this is historically a very good sign. I mean, for the last 6 or 7 months, anytime that this happened, not only did we see a pump that led into it, but we have seen Bitcoin's price be able to continue that pump afterwards. Now, does that mean that Bitcoin's price is just going to immediately start going straight upwards? No, it doesn't mean that. And I actually wanted to warn you that it's not going to be just that easy, right? In the short term, there will be bumps and bruises. There will be challenges. There will be obstacles and barriers. There will be these types of things. But the fact that we are getting a bullish signal of this nature in a moment like this just goes to show that even though its price didn't per se pull back, it did reset. And this could be actually a melt up, opening up the eventual door for a move upwards. Now, I did tell you though, I wanted to give you a little bit of a warning. And one thing that I want you to pay attention to is the fact that, again, it might not just be so simple as Bitcoin going straight up to 123K. For example, ascending channels have a very high probability of breaking to the downside. Sometimes they break upwards, right? We will see that maybe 20% of the time. 80% of the time, they break to the downside. And while Bitcoin's price is still within this ascending channel, I want you to be very careful in understanding that we very well might still get rejected here. We might hit this all-time high, get rejected, come back down to say something like 93K, and then start trying to move upwards. So do keep that on your mind. Another thing I want you to keep on your mind is the fact that Bitcoin's liquidation levels are highly favoring a move downwards. There are there are now billions of dollars that are sitting in these lower levels, anywhere from 103,000 to 94,000. You can see hundreds of millions of dollars at each level for Bitcoin. Every $100 that goes up, there are hundreds of millions of dollars that will be liquidated, not only just on the 1 day, but also on the 7 days and also on the 30 days. Now, the reason this is so important is because historically speaking, guys, the market will move in the direction of the most liquidations eventually, meaning that if a lot of people will get liquidated if the market goes down, the lizard people might do lizard shit and start pushing that market towards the downside. And so you just always have to be aware that even on days like today, when we are seeing a lot of bullishness, we are seeing some great movement, we are seeing a very strong signal, it doesn't mean you should just go all in. That you should put every single dollar that you have into Bitcoin right now. I would still move with caution. Anytime you are pushing all-time highs, anytime you are in price discovery, you need to just be careful. It doesn't mean that you're bearish. It doesn't mean you don't believe in it. It doesn't mean that you don't think Bitcoin can hit 130K. You can think Bitcoin's going to hit 130K, but still be very careful in a moment like this because you're aware that a possible pull to the downside could be on the way. And so although all of these bullish things are happening, I'm very excited. I'm looking forward to it. And I think this, we are consistently seeing Bitcoin do the things that it needs to do in order to get up to $130,000 or $140,000. I do still want you to be a little bit cautious today because in moments like this where there is euphoria and everyone is excited, things can really start to get a little bit dangerous. We haven't seen the crowd come back yet. You of course know that as Bitcoin's price did kind of slow down a little bit in this channel, we did see retail kind of slow down. They stopped caring a little bit. I would expect them to start coming back sometime soon. And the moment retail comes back, that's especially when things start getting dangerous from a liquidation perspective. So if you are opening trades right now, if you are buying Bitcoin right now, I would highly encourage you to make sure that your exit strategies are set in place and you're ready, because again, you never really know when this market might come down to liquidity hunt all those people, hunt for those liquidations, and then try to continue upwards after. But overall, because of the bullish signals we are seeing flashing, because of all this bullish news that we have been getting, I do think Bitcoin's going to continue higher over the macro. I still think 120, 130 is on the way, but again, getting there might get a little bit risky and bumpy, so just be prepared for that. But overall, very good things that we're seeing here from Bitcoin. I'm very glad about it. And as we do get Bitcoin getting closer and closer to either getting rejected here or breaking out here, I will of course give you updates on what is going on, as I am trying to post a little bit more Bitcoin content. So Let me know how you guys feel about this new style of video where we talk a little bit more about what's happening fundamentally and from the news and mixing that in with our technicals. And of course, keep a very close eye on the top of this channel because things are going to heat up as we get closer and closer to trying to break out of it. Now, as I mentioned earlier, if you're somebody who is simply just trying to elevate in this whole world of crypto, whether you're a beginner or you're advanced, just someone simply trying to get better at all this stuff, what I want you to do is check out my crypto vault. Now, the Tyler Hill Crypto Vault is a platform that I've created. It's more of an educational platform that people are learning at rates that I have never seen before in my entire life, quite frankly. We're offering so many different things, and I'll go through them here with you. I mean, we have Insights with Tyler, which are my thoughts and insights and just some of the things that I'm buying and selling, taking profits, just stuff like that, my own personal feed. We have daily live shows with some different coaches like Crypto Moses, Kate O'Neill, Frank Stork, and many more. We have daily technical analysis on all the cryptos that we talk about here on the channel. We have a fundamental analysis report that goes out on the general market itself, talking about what's actually happening behind the scenes. I've hired a team of professional traders that give their buy and sell signals from Monday to Friday, and you can see, I mean, 63% gain, 34% gain, 132% gain. And you got to remember, these are people who rely on their trading to eat, rely on their trading to live, for their business to keep going. And so, of course, you know, learning from them is great. I mean, to be able to get their buy and sell signals is a very good thing, in my opinion. We have premium classes on things like the Fibonacci, 5 keys to bull market investing, the Bollinger Bands, a beginner's guide to XRP, the power of on-chain analysis with myself and many other different coaches. We have tips with Tyler. These are 2 to 4 minute long videos on just random things that you guys ask me about, and I do intend on making one of these a day going forward. So there's going to be a bunch of content going in there for you. We have beginners courses for those of you who are a little bit newer. These are 30-minute videos, 20-page presentations with cheat sheets and vocabulary sheets, going over things like technical analysis, going over things like leverage trading. I have 3 or 4 more of these releasing over the next coming weeks, so feel free to definitely want to check that out. And all of these things combined, all of these things are cultivating a community, again, that are generating insane gains. What I'll do is just scroll through. Mind you, this is just from yesterday, and I can scroll through, and just since yesterday, you can see the sheer amount of gains that are being printed here. I mean, we saw, if I remember correctly, yes, a 9,000% gain from Crypto Crazy, from the Crypto Roundtable, the weekly Crypto Roundtable. Absolutely insane stuff going on here. So if you want to join this community, what you're going to need to do is check out the Patreon link down below, guys. It is the cost of a Netflix subscription or cheaper. $17 a month and less gets you access to basically everything that I just showed you. We do have a new tier releasing today, but I'll talk to you about that in a future video. I just want you to go ahead and check this out. For the cost of a Netflix subscription or cheaper, I think that's very good value. And so with that in mind, I wanted to just tell you about that. And don't forget, listen, we post 4, 5, 6 videos here on the channel every single day. So if you have been enjoying them, if you have been finding them valuable, all I ask is you just smash that like button so more people see it, and subscribe if you enjoyed it yourself. But with that in mind, of course, I can't wait to see you all in the next one. Peace out, everybody.